So
Yeah. Shout out to Dark. He's usually one of those guys as well, one of those players, one of the few players that is actually like, making sure that all of the casters and all the observers are in, and then if anyone
immediately hit the play button as soon as the players are in the lobby.
Hero.
I didn't want to call anyone out. Okay.
There are some players that are very quick to just start the game. You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. But shout out to the players that are considerate to the casters. We always appreciate it.
Yeah. Hearts in the chat.
Less than 3, Poppy. Less than 3.
But yeah, everything has been streamlined in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Everything has been gotten into order, and we are going to be jumping into our first and potentially only TVZ of the afternoon. I guess it can be evening, depending where you're from. Regardless, we're going to kick it off here on Neo Humanity, where in the top left-hand corner map, sweating all the way in this top left-hand corner, we have our red Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He is Dark.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have his opponent, the South Korean Terran player representing Club NV. It is Cure.
Now, I don't want to call this a grudge match, Light, but I will say, just a couple of weeks ago, they were teammates.
True. Now they hate each other. Oh my god. But they were teammates for a long time, and because of that, I imagine they are very well they're familiar with each other. Not as much. Like, when I think of players like doing customs together and grinding together, I do think of like the old Pro League days, and I do consider that to be the fact when it comes to those old teammates. So I'm sure like Cure maybe plays a lot more with the ex-Jin boys than the old SKT boys, or KT boys. So yeah, I don't know how close they are, is I guess what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, well, from interviews coming in here and there, I do know that Cure practices with Cure seems to just practice with whoever he can practice with.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to be one of those players who every time somebody else gets asked, "Oh, who do you practice with?" they always bring up Cure.
Yeah, he's very open about his practice relationship with people. He's free to just practice with anyone he wishes, and everyone's okay with it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. You are looking for a practice partner. DM Cure.
There you go. Just DM Cure. He's got you.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll be open to it. You could be way, way, way low in the leagues, but Cure, he is approachable in that regard.
100%, mate. 100%. And we can see here so far nothing too crazy out of Dark. If we do expect any kind of peculiar builds, it would usually be from him. But Hatchgas Pool third base is taken at a reasonable location. He didn't opt to take the forward third or anything crazy like that.
Yeah, he's still going for somewhat defendable bases. I mean, he hasn't mined out the gold minerals just yet to go for that back third. So this is probably the most standard you can get.
Pretty much. And from the side of Cure, likewise, as he just double checks and it's just a little bit annoying here, just denying any kind of creep tumors. Does slow Dark down a little bit. But we see a 3cc 111 coming out from Cure, so very economic as well. Just as standard as opener as you can get in TVZ.
Yeah, just sussing one another out. If you were to tell me that we were getting a TVZ where both players played completely standard, I would not think that game would be played on Neo Humanity. Here we are.
Oh, and you know what? You caught on to something, because we have Marauder production here. We've got the Tech Lab on the racks. We did not go for an add-on swap, so we are continuing Hellion production. I'm feeling an armory.
Oh, as am I. There's that concussive shells going down. There's that medevac to try to get the drop, or to try to get the Marauder drop behind the wall. This is a build I haven't seen in quite some time, but I'm always delighted whenever I see it.
Yeah, Marauders and Hellions soon, I imagine, to be Hellbats are on the way. We do see a bit of an Overlord Scout trying to get in so far. This Viking has done a great job at denying this. The third CC has been spotted, so everything is looking normal. Again, Cure has been hiding his additional Hellions and his Marauder production.
Yeah, very, very nicely done. Dark, he's getting Spore Crawlers just in case. You know, he doesn't really know what's coming his way, but they're not going to help him against what is coming his way, which is Hellbats and Concussive Shells Marauders.
Yeah, here we go. The armory is about to finish up. Meanwhile, Dark, looking at the units tab, he's got 7 queens, which is okay, but they are spread out between the bases. They aren't all on the front lines. He's only working with 3 lings as well. He was very greedy, not making any safety lings whatsoever. Cure is still waiting, though. Finally, the armory just finishes.
And a Roach one just finished up, but Dark is getting +1 range and Carapace. He just droned up as well. He has a little bit of larva left over to get some of these roaches, but he needs to buy himself a lot of time. These lings are being cut off from the rest of the army. Cure, I mean, he doesn't even have his Marauders here to slow down any queens because he knows he doesn't really need to. These Hellbats can deal with them just like so.
Yeah, a lot of queens are going to be going down. The roaches are trickling out, and these marauders are on a little bit of an A move here, attacking buildings, so not the most efficient use of them, and it looks like with these reinforcing roaches, Dark should eventually be able to push this back. The Hellions are being cleaned up. Meanwhile, the queens are, yeah, they should be cleaned up as well.
Yeah, the army a little bit split up here from Cure. Dark was able to take full advantage of that. Queens are gonna go down, and that definitely hurts quite a bit. I think it's safe to say that Cure was looking to get more damage than just these 7 queens, which is still a lot, mind you.
I mean, this could have been a lot worse. He could have gotten into the mineral line as well. I think Dark did a great job at distracting the army with his queens. We saw him trying to pull him apart, trying to drag the Hellbats and Marauders over towards the left-hand side. After all said and done, we do see 7 queens. Every queen did die, as well as 11 roaches. So I do think that that was a good trade overall for Cure, especially because it was an economic opener. You know, his third base is saturated.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Dark definitely picked the option that hurt the least, but it still hurts quite a bit.
Yeah, 100%. That's the thing, because look at the worker counts. Right now, Cure is ahead economically, 100%, and Dark has to make a choice here. Is he going to try and saturate this 4th base, or is he going to go for a 1-1 timing? Right now, he's making nothing but roaches. 1-1 is on the way. Roach speed is on the way as well. I wouldn't be surprised if these hatcheries are only for larvae.
Yeah, I think Dark knows how relentless Cure can be. When he has a bit of an advantage, he does like pressing that advantage and just eventually pressuring his opponent into tapping out. Dark wants to take the initiative here and beat a player and really try to mitigate that as much as possible. Liberators will eventually go down, but not before getting 8 more drones. I don't think Dark wants to economically recover from here. I think he is just going straight for the all-in.
Yeah, I like how Dark's just being very dark, and he makes a wave of roaches and 1 drone. He's like, I'm still droning Copium, but if he wasn't all-in before, he is all-in now. He's falling further and further behind economically. He's going for 1 big push. Cure is going out with a double chop. This is dangerous. He needs everything at home to defend right now. He's got 1 tank. Dark, this has gone unscouted, and Dark is coming in from both angles.
Yep, that tank is going to go down to the Ravagers of Dark. Liberator going to try to do whatever it can. There is another tank, and there is a wall here, so there is a fallback location right now for Cure to retreat to and to try to force an engagement, but this turn is forfeit. You know, his drop across the map didn't really get much done. Dark has reciprocated the damage, or rather, he's reciprocated enough damage that now he can go back to droning if he so wanted to.
Yeah, if he wants to, he can drone, but right now he's just making more roaches. He knows that he can potentially end the game. 25 SCVs go down. The 3rd base is forfeit. Cure just was unable, or again, he just didn't know that a push was coming. That's the dangerous thing about Near Humanity. It doesn't take long at all to move out across the map. It did go unscattered, and now Dark is droning.
Yeah, definitely didn't help that he had his tank right in a location that could have been surrounded by 2 angles. Marauders are trying their best here to crack through the armor of these roaches, but it is not going to be enough. Dark takes game.
GG, well played. Dark was put in a really precarious situation. Things were not looking good for Dark there, but he knew that. He knew that was the case, so he just stopped droning. He just made a mass amount of roaches and ravagers, and he did a good job at keeping them hidden from those liberators, from the drop, and Kier had no idea what was coming his way until it was too late. Until little roaches.
Yeah. Swarming all around him. Dark just really has this good all-in instinct.
He really does. It's definitely impressive. The Dark, he just knows, you know, at the drop of a dime, he's ready to just go all in. And, you know, is that because he was going to do that to begin with, and that's just what his plan was, or? Yeah, he's very flexible in that way.
Yeah. You know, I don't remember who said it, but I want to say Loco was the one who kind of described Dark as a player who can make 60 drones and still look like he has an 80 drone economy.
There you go. It doesn't make sense when you look at how he plays, but it makes sense to him, and that's all that matters as we are now getting into game number 2. Oh boy, and yeah, this could be over before it began. You know, relatively quick games. You're talking about it yourself. You know, Koreans, they're not necessarily always about the longer macro games.
Yeah, but they can get there if they so desired. As I sanitize my eyes from a chat for a second, I'm going to be looking at this game we've got right here. This hype game we got right here. Aggressman, where in the bottom right-hand quarter of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand quarter, we have our red Zerg player, our only high-level Zerg player in today's bracket. From the land of Korea, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG, we have Dark.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have his opponent, the South Korean Terran player representing Team NV. It is Cure.
I like this new name for Nish, otherwise known as the StarCraft 2 Observer. DGen TikTok Podcast, man. That's your title from now on, Nish.
Yeah, that's your ultimate ID.
Wear it proudly.
No one else can claim that from you, Nish. That is who you are. That is what you are, and we love you. We love you for it. We do. We do.
Less than 3 in the chat.
Less than 3, Poppy. Less than 3. Oh god, as yeah, that was a really, like, to be fair, that was a pretty back and forth game, right? Like, again, if Cure just happened to have realized that he was just crippling the economy of Dark, and if he had happened to have seen all those roaches, then maybe he would have been able to prepare himself a little bit better.
And it was a very back and forth game. It was just less than 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You gotta play it back at half speed to really get the full effect of the whiplash there. Cure had a fantastic opening where no matter what, he really found himself in a win-win situation there, where even though Dark could have lost a lot more, he still lost a whole lot, and Cure, with his economic opener, was able to take advantage of that. He was droning up, or he was building workers. He set himself up in a very comfortable position. Unfortunately, he didn't quite have the tank production, and he also went in for a double drop at probably the worst possible time as well.
Yeah.
That Dark was able to find himself a window to just smash through with an all-in.
Yeah, we talk about poking the bear, poking the dark all the time, right? Where, like, if you're crippling a player's economy and if you're fully forcing them all in, is it the wisest choice to keep doing that? And to keep, like, you know, going for all this harassment when at a certain point they're going to break, they're just going to send everything across the map and
they're going to snap.
Yeah, they're going to snap and you're not going to be prepared for that. So, it is something that does happen, and it's something you have to weigh when it comes to your choices, when it comes to whether you want to be aggressive or not.
Yeah. You got to do that math. You got to do that weighing a little bit more conservatively, I guess, in Cure's case.
Yeah, or maybe just take into consideration the map, you know, like...
Yeah.
That's that could be another thing.
The terrain, you know, when you're poking bears.
For sure.
Understand what you can get away with.
Yeah, as we do see once again a 3cc opener here from Cure. This time he goes for an add-on swap, so no tech lab on the starport. So he is just going for a standard 3cc Banshee. Meanwhile, I don't know if you noticed, but Dark went for, I think this was around a 3-minute Roach Warren very early.
Yeah, much earlier. I wonder how much of that is just for safety, though, from Dark.
Well, that's the thing. To throw down a Roach Warren this early, I do not believe it's for safety. I believe he intends to use it here. He's making 3 Overlords to make sure he doesn't get supply blocked. His Queens are doing a good job at just fending off Hellions, and here we go. Roach production is commencing.
It has begun. Funnily enough, I think Cure inadvertently went for probably the best possible opening deal of this.
100%.
But
like,
we'll see if Dark even cares about these Banshees.
Yeah, like, these Banshee openers are so safe against Roach aggression, so I think this is a very smart choice to use against Dark, because I feel like, of all things that Dark is known for, I think Roach may be his signature unit.
Yeah. I remember there was a time it was Ultras, but yeah, I think around 2018-ish, he started using less and less Ultras and more Roaches.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen him use the new Slim, the thinned down Ultra yet.
They're not thick enough for him.
True.
Is the thing.
He likes them thick, pup. He likes them thick. I don't blame him. As those Roaches are going, they're going for a bit of a counterattack. They have gone unscouted. They did go the long way around, and there are only Hellions to defend, so the Roaches are just going to run past, go straight to the middle line, and pick off whatever units they can. The Banshees do turn around, but in the midst of all this, Roaches are picking up SCVs.
Yeah, it's very smart here of Dark to just split up his forces. Cure, he knows he needs to concentrate his Banshees in one location. So somewhere along the line, Dark is going to find damage. 5 SCVs do go down. This Roach push does get cleaned up in the end. All in all, I want to say it was worth it for Dark, though.
Yeah, looking at the units tab here, he traded 6 Roaches for 5 SCVs, and you could argue, like, is that the best use of gas? Probably not, but you know, it's a good way to trade out these Roaches overall, especially if we're transitioning out, but we're not. Dark is doubling down. He's going for +1 range and Roach speed.
Yeah. He wants to stay committed to the Roaches for whatever reason, but I'd argue that he has a good enough economy to get away with that. You know, he's getting as much gas as possible. He's making sure that he always has Larva somewhere. Spore Cross did just about finish up, but there was a window of opportunity for Cure here to get 7 drone kills, and maybe even a couple more. I mean, Hellions is sneaking through.
Yeah, and honestly, this is important because Dark, after making those 6 Roaches, he was giga greedy. He just did nothing but make drones, and that's why he was able to accumulate such a massive worker lead. But now that lead isn't really there anymore. I say that, like 14 drones just went down. Like, this is very nice counter damage from Cure.
Yeah, about a minute ago, Dark was 20 workers ahead. Now, he's still around that level. No.
12.
Now he's only 12. Yeah, only 12 workers ahead.
Exactly. Cure would have been in a much worse position here, so he's able to punish the greed of Dark with this counterattack, and he's not stopping. And this time, you know, we're on a bit of a larger map. You know, makes more sense for Cure to get away with all of this hyper aggression. Dark is ramping up that Roach production, though. He has 6 Overlords on the way. It's that time to just hit that R key.
It really is, but till then, nothing shoots up.
Ooh, nothing shoots up, and the roaches are being distracted here by the drop. Can he focus down that spawning pool?
He's gonna try. The transfuse was not enough, and Cure gets a very nice pick off. I mean, he keeps the majority of his units alive, which is the most important thing, but yeah, forcing a spawning pool to be remade is definitely annoying, to say the least.
It really is, and again, he's just continuing to keep Dark busy. Again, Dark, he's going all in. He has not made a drone for quite some time. He's still making nothing but roaches, nothing but ravagers. 1-1 just finished up. Dark is missing his timing a little bit here. He's got to go, and he knows it as well. He's finally moving out.
Yeah, but over on the other side of the map, Cure is looking at least a little bit better defensively than last time. I still worry about these tanks. They are unsieged and they are still somewhat exposed, but you know, at least it's a better. At least this is a better defensive location compared to earlier on Neo Humanity. Only one tank is siege up, only one tank is siege up, and it immediately gets piled down. Cure, he's trying to find a good place to siege up his tanks, but I think it's too late for that.
The Marines once again, the Marines, they were out of position. GG gets called.
And Dark takes that series 2-0 in less than 20 minutes. Like, not just in 20 minutes, but in 2 games where it looked like he was really on the back foot, yet somehow just outflanked his opponent, outflanked Cure, and took the victory. GG. Very nicely done here by Dark.
Yeah. GG, well played. It was kind of the same kind of scenario 2 games in a row. This one, I agree with you. Cure was looking a little bit better, right? Like, he was slowing down Dark. He was forcing him to respond. He was sniping the spawning pool.
He had 4 tanks this time instead of just 1. He only had 1 siege. But,
yeah.
The important part is he had 4 tanks.
That's the thing, right? Just like game 1, he only had 1 tank siege. He had more potential there, but at the same time, he was also moving out. I know if you saw, he had another double drop that was moving out full of Marines at the same time that Dark was coming in. He was unsieged. He didn't know where Dark's army was once again, and Dark, like a shark, you know, he just snuck up on Cure. He pounced and caught Cure unsieged with his pants down. Oh.
Yeah.
GG.
It was so rough seeing all of those Marines that were out on the map that Cure was forced to bring back home, try to fight up a ramp into Ravagers that just piled them down immediately. That was rough.
Yeah, exactly. Cure, he just, unfortunately, when it comes to Cure versus Dark, he was unable to predict when the counterattack or where it was coming from. He wasn't able to position himself in time. Otherwise, I do think that he would have been able to potentially hold. He probably would have had to pull some SCVs, but he can afford to at that time.
He definitely had the units he needed to try to hold against that roach aggression. Like you say, I mean, he had 4 tanks. But only one of them was siege, so.
Pretty much, mate. Pretty much. As we are going to be getting ready for our next series here. Just going to be asking.
Oh, wait. I've got barcode.
Who's he playing against? I don't even know.
He is playing. Okay, we're getting into Hero versus Lee. Wait. Sin Hyung?
Innovation.
Wait, so it's not innovation.
It is. I just checked Wikipedia.
It is. Wait, but it's Sin, not Shin.